Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back. We're doing a best of three Zendikar Rising draft. Rare is Verazol, so good for the kicker deck. Obviously, it's a strong card. I'm fine with first picking it for the most part. Otherwise, we have Geopede, which is a great beater. I mean, this puts us in 2-color right away, which isn't great, but it is a powerful effect. I mean, it's 4-mana 4/4 in a pinch, or you can pay, a ton more and make it huge. It's good. There's also a low Mage's Familiar. It would be nice if we could wheel it. I don't think the Into the Royal is wheeling. Sentinel is likely wheeling, and it's good synergy with the Verazol. Geopede, maybe the PTQ pick because it's just a cheap, efficient beater. And aggro seems to be very popular in this format. But yeah, I'm interested in the Verazol. Binding is playable as well, much less exciting. I'd rather have the Into the Royal over a Binding, but we'll take the rare. I like playing rares, seeing what they can do. Unfortunately, not a great follow-up here. So, a couple good warrior cards here, a few good warrior cards. I like the Vanguard more than the Tactician. It's just solid 2-drop. In blue, we have Stalker, which is good, but probably not for the kicker deck. Spell Shield, or correct myself. People keep saying I say Spell Shield, Shell Shield. It's such an unexciting second pick after Verazol. There's also Spring Mantle Cleric. We can just take the Vanguard. I mean, it's certainly, I would say, the strongest card for its respective archetype in here. It's just kind of a disappointing follow-up pick after a Verazol, but it's all right. All right, Symbiosis. It's fun. It puts us back on the Verazol plan. Not that it has kicker, but it's a playable spell land and on color with the first pick. Maybe I just hold out hope I can make a kicker deck work here. Might have to go 4 or 5 color again to really make sure it works. Otherwise, Scorch Rider with the Vanguard. Diviner is playable with Evasion. Survivor's playable is just a 2-drop, but we'll take the Symbiosis. It's a cool spell land. Okay, kicker card here. We can take the Arbor Mage. Otherwise, Balot's a pretty good beater. Charger is a good card for the warrior deck, but I'd like to make kicker work. It's more fun to play the rares and mythics. We'll see if we get that luxury. But we'll take an Arbor Mage. It's a fine card, not amazing, certainly playable. Sometimes it can win the game. Fortification is good. We have a Royal Mage, though, which has kicker. Nothing to bring back currently with it, but it's a 2-drop with kicker. I might just want it. Can get back our... Actually, can we get back our Turn Timber Symbiosis? It's the way this has it organized, it makes it look like the land is on the front side. So I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll take a Royal Mage. Good card. Built-in value. I think I like it more than Fortification, even though Fortification is quite good. So we can take the Ascetic, which is fine, or we can take Broken Wings for sideboard. It's a very valuable sideboard card. Yeah, I might actually go sideboard over Ascetic here. Just because there's some matches where Broken Wings is really nice to have. So, yeah, we can take it. A couple good red cards in here. Mystic for the Wizards deck. Could take the Ascetic, but I'll take Broken Wings for sideboard. So here, pretty easy Sentinel. It's got kicker. It's going to work well with Verazol. It actually works well with Symbiosis, too. Comes in as a 5/6. If you find it off of that. And yeah. So pick 8. Unfortunately did not get the Lull Mage's Familiar back, but that's okay. Here we'll probably take a Balaged Recovery. Good playable spell land. More exciting than a Blight Blade and a Stomper, I would say. And Pickaxe is more for the landfall deck, so alright. Alright. A lot of red wheels here, all of which are actually really good. Like, we could just take the Geopede and assume red's open. We do have 2 blue cards. I mean, I'm giving up an Adventure Awaits here. which doesn't matter, so I guess we'll take a Geopeed. 9th pick Geopeed is pretty crazy. But we did get the Shell Shield back. I mean, it's something to get off Royal Mage. It can protect our dudes. It's got Kicker, so good Kicker synergies. Otherwise, we take Electromancer to get back into like a Cruel Aggro. I mean, I don't know why. I've kind of just got my heart on playing this Verazol, so I'm going to take the Shell Shield. So options here. Survivor versus Cleric of Chill Depths. Very different cards, actually. I suppose if we magically end up in red, I'd probably prefer to have the Warrior. And I feel like we're almost assuredly green and possibly not blue, so that makes sense too. Don't really have the Wizards yet to support the Chilling Trap. Just have the Royal Mage and I guess a Taunting Arbor Mage. Huh, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to take the Chilling Trap here. I'm just usually not excited by Dauntless Survivor outside of certain archetypes. Chiefly, alright, last pick Ascetic. That's good. Inscription of Ruin. Well, there's a good card. Probably looking at... well, Gnarled Colony's got Kicker, but Windrider Wizard evades and has good synergy with certain spells, but this is also a 2-drop. This loots, which is kind of nice. Can really mitigate Flood well, and it flies, but maybe we want... I mean, we got a last pick green card. There's a chance we get it back. It's just nice to get evasion with a looter. I think this card is really good. Yeah, I'm going to take the Wizard and speculate that we get the Colony back. We'll find out. So we take Royal Mage here, Buying Veil, and that is it. Some good black cards here. I'm okay taking the Royal Mage. Getting more Kicker. It's also a Wizard, I guess, to make our Chilling Trap slightly better. Works with Windrider Wizard as well. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Okay, well, Rune Crab wins games. It's not really what our deck's doing, though. Because Into the Royal is actually very highly desirable. It works well with Verazol. Can get it back with the Royal Mages. Am I just hoping to play a crab and win off of it? It's not really going with the plan super well. It's good against us. I'll say that. I think we want this Into the Royal, though. I feel like I don't like going in on a crab plan when it's clearly not what the rest of our deck is set up to do. And Into the Royal is just super valuable for us. I think that's the main issue. So another Windrider Wizard. Kind of want to take it over the Field Research, just because we're probably a little bit creature light, and it's good with other wizards. It flies. The looting is good. I want the Field Research too, to be honest, but I think dueling Windrider Wizards right now is fine. Well, Squid's a good pickup here. It's a good blocker. Gives us some more 2-drops. We've got a reasonable late game plan already with Verazol, Ascetic, or Symbiosis Ascetic. Probably don't want to play a Tempest, but I can in a pinch. Sentinel, some flying. Yeah, Squid makes sense to me. Well, Conundrum is a card I don't think comes up all that often, but we can take the Fortification here, and it's a free combat trick. Well, not free, but spell land. Free for the deck. Otherwise, another Tempest, which I'm not interested in. Relic Vial, I suppose we do have a Cleric, and it's a good card, but I think Fortification makes more sense. Diviner is a legitimately just good pickup for us here. It's another Wizard. Pairs well with the Windrider Wizards. It flies. Actually have a decent aerial force right now, which is kind of nice. Alright, options here. I mean, there's Might of Marasa, which has Kicker. Can kind of win out of nowhere with Verazal, I suppose, if you copy it, kicked. Plus 10. It's kind of cool. We've got 12 creatures. It's also something we can bring back with the Royal Mages. I mean, there's Seer and Selendi Vision too, but I think Might of Marasa actually makes some sense here. All right, got the Colony back, which is another 2-drop. Diviner is looking kind of good in here, though. Can never really have enough 2-drops, but I kind of like having all of these flyers, especially ones that net us cards. I'm going to take the Buying Veil here. Like, we've got a really good aerial force here now. I suppose I could play Spare Supplies in a pinch. This isn't the optimal deck for it. Not that it's bad, it's just I'd rather have like Field Research or something we can actually bring back with Royal Mage. I think that makes more sense. Another Shell Shield. Alright. Glacial Grasp. Playable. At its best in Rogues, but certainly playable here when you have a lot of flyers and ways to bring it back with the Royal Mage. Last pick, Living Tempest. Well, Master of Winds is a great pickup for us. It's in the same pack as another Windrider Wizard. The green cards are playable too, but pretty easy. Master of Winds, just a great card. Kind of exactly what we want right now. Maul of the Skyclaves. Well, it's super strong, but I don't think we're going to make it work. We're probably looking at a Sproutling. Otherwise, Draga Visionary would be nice. Bubble Snare, since we have basically no removal, would be good too, but I think Sproutling is probably what we're looking for. I mean, this has Kicker too. Maybe because I have no removal, I should take it. It's probably a reasonable argument there. You can also copy it with Barazal. I mean, you can copy Sproutling too. Kind of could go either way on this. I guess we'll go Bubble Snare just because we have practically no removal. Be nice if we could get the Sproutling back, but, well, immediately get one anyway. Or another Bubble Snare. I might actually take another Bubble Snare over the Sproutling. Hope to get one of them back, or the Colony. I think we're going to wheel something good here, because there's also a Field Research, which I want, but the Bubble Snares, having the Kicker, being able to permanently deal with something, I kind of like it. Here I kind of want to take the Squid. I think Surge is cool, because it's got Kicker, and it's like another sort of win con, and you can bring it back, but Squid, it's tough to go wrong. Cheap, 2-drop, defensive. Well, Glasspool Mimic is a great card. Another Squid in here, another Colony, but Mimic is just a great card. Yeah, I mean, copy a Diviner, copy a Master of Winds. I don't think you don't get Into the Battlefield effects, because it enters... I don't know why you don't get Into the Battlefield effects. I'm confused about that still, but I don't think you do. So we can take a Reclaim here, just extra mana. Probably just take the Recovery. It's tough to go wrong with these awesome spell lands. It's going to allow us to play more lands in our deck too, and hopefully have that work out. So there's a chance to take a Stalker here. We don't really have a lot of different classes, but we probably still have enough where we just want it, because it does win the game. It's more exciting than a Nectar Pot. Yeah. Stalker can just win. Alright, Rabid Bite. Finally got a removal. We're going to take that over Reclaim. I think we're going to get some good wheels too. I've got a good feeling. Yeah. Like now we can take a third Windrider Wizard, which I'm fine with. It's going to allow us to loot and find relevant things fairly often. I don't think this is a Spare Supplies deck. Might be off Shell Shield too, we'll see. Alright, did get the Sproutling back. I'm going to take it over the Visionary, just because you can play it for 3, and we certainly have enough Kicker stuff where it's going to be a 5-mana get something back a lot of the time, I think. Maybe not as many Kickers as I thought, but playing this on turn 2, trading with something, and then getting it back with our Sproutling is also good. Wish we had better targets for Balagad Recovery too. But it's okay. Duelist, at least a good sideboard card against certain decks. I guess none of these matter. Alright, got the squid back. That's nice. 3 squids I'm happy to play. With all the flyers we have, having 3 power dudes on the ground to block is very nice. So we'll cut all these. I think we do want to be an 18 land deck with all these spell lands. And I think we have enough card draw to support that too. So plenty of spell lands. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 7 cuts, and we've basically got a deck we can easily cut. Some creatures too. Like Survivor can probably go. We've got the squids, which are better. Maybe cut the shell shields. They're not amazing in here by any stretch. If we had more kicker synergies, I think they'd be good, but basically in here, I don't ever really want to copy it with Verazal. I don't really want to bring it back that much with Royal Mage. It can be a protection spell for flyers, and it triggers Windrider Wizard, and I guess it can flip this too, which is actually kind of good. But I'm off of it. I do like Chilling Trap in here a lot. We ended up with enough wizards. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, more than enough. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 4 more cuts. They can be creatures. I'm kind of tempted to cut the Tempests. They just kind of feel like easy cards to cut. I think they're fine in general, but just sort of easy to cut. Our deck does not have a ton of removal, but between 2 Bubble Snares and a Rabid Bite, I'm wondering if I maybe have enough to cut the Glacial Grasp too. Might not need it. This isn't an optimal build for it. We still have to make 2 cuts. I think Grasp can probably go. Still have plenty of creatures. Could see the argument for cutting the Ascetic. It gains life, which is good. It's just nothing crazy. Kind of cuts our top end quite a bit. We basically just have wizards too. Wizards and then the 2 rogues. But paying 3 mana to make this unblockable is actually perfect. This still just wins. Yeah, I guess I can get behind cutting the Ascetic. It does gain life, which is nice, but I think we can squid beats, and we've got some flyers. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, all right. More blue than green, but we have a lot of green spell lands. I guess we have a lot of blue. We got the blue spell lands too. But double blue into the Royal, Bubble Snare, Master. This kind of wants multiple blue. Double green, we've got Might, Sproutling. So probably pretty close to an even split with 1 extra blue, I think. So we'll do 10... 10-8. Is that what we're doing? I did something wrong. Oh. 10-8. Otherwise, I can do 9-9, but yeah, we've got a lot of important blue spells we need to play early. Yeah, all right, 10-8. Not an incredible deck, but I think... I guess we'll see what we can do with it. We'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1. All right, round 1. We'll play first. Yeah, it's a keep. I mean, I'd like to copy with Mimic, so... Even copying a squid doesn't seem bad as long as we could consistently play lands, but we'll see. We'll see what we draw here. I mean, I also like the idea of copying the Windrider Wizard to get another flyer. But we'll see. We might just have to play the Mimic as a land here. Doesn't look like it now. Now I probably play the Wizard, though, and because this is on the ground and it relies lands to be able to attack, so we can play the Windrider Wizard and be happier, I think. Well, now I might play... Still might play that Mimic as a land. Kind of depends. I mean, it still keeps us behind... Lets us attack with the squid, I guess. Which is good. But we'll see. Really want to actually draw a land here so I can play the Diviner, loot, get in, possibly set up for a Mimic copying the Diviner next turn. But if I don't rip the land, then yes, I think I'll play this as a land. Oh, two can play at this Verazal game, huh? Alright, so we did miss, but we can play the Wizard here, so that seems good to me. Draw, hit the land, which is great. Might discard the Royal Mage. That to me actually just makes sense. And we can go land. Get in for 5. Next turn we can play the Diviner, double loot, set up for a Mimic. We're on Refuse now. There is a strong card. Let's see what they put the counter on. I mean, the correct choice is Ooze. That's just what you put it on. But in this instance, it actually turns out they probably want to put it on Verazal because I have a bubble snare, but they're attacking too. It's extremely risky, but I like it. There's another Windrider Wizard. Well, in order to attack with Squid, we'd have to play a land, but I think we're probably best off just bubble snaring the Ooze now. And I think we play the Mimic so we can attack and get in for 7. I think it's worth it. Like, we miss out on copying with Mimic, but we're also staying busy for a couple turns here, so we're probably okay. And getting 3 additional damage in there is pretty nice. And being able to loot could actually be relevant here too. Looks like they're gonna... Oh, bounce, okay. Copying it too. Makes sense. Get to draw 2 cards. They're gonna bounce their Ooze. Yeah, I was gonna say they can't afford to bounce Ooze yet, so that actually makes sense. Well, I don't get to loot, but it turns out to not matter because we drew a land. So best use of mana now is the Diviner. And then we go land. Get in for 3. Now, if they kill the Diviner, we don't get to draw a card, but I think that's okay. The bubble snare kind of helps them because they can still use Oran Refuse as a rapid bite target. But what are we doing? I guess we can go wizard, wizard, loot. Guess we dump the wizard. All right. So, Broken Wings currently does not deal with anything we saw. Oran Reef Ooze is going to be a problem. There's not a ton we can do about it. We have the Bubble Snare. Luckily, we had it that game, but yeah. That thing's going to take over the game pretty quick, and they've got stuff like Sidecat and Verazol, which pair really well with it. Anything look bad? Well, Squid did some serious work there, so that was good. I guess we have Rabid Bite for Ooze, but that's only works sometimes. Grasp is a way to kind of temporarily deal with it. Not really feeling anything too much. I mean, I could cut Chilling Trap for a Grasp. I think that's okay. This doesn't seem like a match where we're going to need to tempo, although they can have some Rabid Bite in there. Like 1 mana, turn off your Rabid Bite, draw a card is actually very good. And it's a cheap thing to bring back with Royal Mage, which is kind of nice. I mean, we didn't see Rabid Bite, that's another thing. But I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to see what else we're dealing with here. Unfortunately, their Broken Wings look good against us. Our Broken Wings don't look as good. Yeah, Sands keep. I mean, we have both colors. Granted, we have to play the Mimic as land, but that's not the end of the world. I guess it looks a little bit slow, but it's okay. All right. Sproutling is actually a good draw. We'll take it and play it. Can always recover it if I have to. Verazol is nice. Well, I'm going to... What do I want to do here? Probably playing the Balagad Recovery as a land. Maybe I just attack. And the reason I attack is they might not block with the Riptide. Because they might want the Riptide. I'm not going to block the Riptide if they kick something. So that also kind of makes some sense. There's a maybe small chance they block with Sidecat. So, I mean, the funny thing is I can kill the Riptide, but priority is definitely killing the Sidecat. So we're going to let that happen. A Rabid Bite here. And play the Recovery as a land. And pass. So if they attack us with Riptide, we at least have the Bubble Snare for it. Might be playing the Fortification as a land as well now. Building towards a better Verazol. Although at this point I can copy Bubble Snare with Verazol, so maybe I'm playing Verazol as a... Can also play the Symbiosis as a land to make Verazol bigger, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm probably just gonna... I can prevent damage, some damage here, but I think I'd rather just take a billion for now and tactically use a Bubble Snare. I think is fine. Yeah. So let's go. Fortification is a land. Let's go Bubble Snare. And get in for 3. And I guess pass. Probably playing Verazol next turn. Yeah, we can... Yeah, this is actually kind of nice. So, let's do Verazol as a 6 mana dude. And then we'll pass. Then next turn we can do the Sentinel and copy it. And that seems pretty good. We have to pay 3 life in order to do that, but I think it's worth it. And if we draw an untapped land, we're even happier, because then we can save the Symbiosis and find something else. But if we don't, I'm totally willing to just get a couple 4/5s out right now. That to me seems good. So I think we chump here. Just seems like a safe way to kind of play it, because I think we've got our turn mapped out fairly well now. And that was a good draw. So now we can do Verazol as a 7. Alright, we're not dead. We still get to copy the Sentinel. That's okay with me. One card left. So let's just go ahead and copy this bad dude here. Definitely want to untap, get this Master of Winds down so our Chilling Trap is active, because that's going to be able to turn off a let's see, what are they bringing back? Do they have the blue mana as well? They do not. So we can double block that if they attack. Yeah, that's fine. We end up doing pretty good here. Buying Veil's a good draw too. Let's do the Master for now. And yeah, we can play the Squid too. So I suppose we can just discard Buying Veil. Guess I wanted to leave up Chilling Trap, but didn't quite get that luxury. It's okay. Not the end of the world. So they can use Into the Royal to bounce Master of Winds, I guess. We still have a blocker for their guys. Even if they somehow get rid of both of our blockers, we're doing okay. They do have the Into the Royal. Alright, so we got the land. We can go Symbiosis, but we technically could miss. So I wonder if it just makes more sense to just get in with the Sentinel. And play the Diviner. And leave up Chilling Trap, I think. Could have attacked with the Master too, but they have Into the Royal, so might as well just play a little bit safer for now. The fact that I can miss on Turn Timber Symbiosis, even though it makes better use of mana, I think that's a good reason to not cast it there. Because, I mean, they're going to be tempted to use Into the Royal here in order to slow us down a bit. Because, I mean, we know they have it, so just not going to give them a great opportunity to use it. That's interesting. So all right. Got round one. We'll see for the next one. All right, round two. Good keep here. Squid beats. Well, guess we have a choice. Do we attack into a Royal Mage? Don't really have to. My Squid is certainly better than the Royal Mage on this board, so probably just play a Stalker instead. Alright, that's a good rip, so let's do the Master here. And I don't think we want to dump the land, so it's probably a Royal Mage. I mean, I can get the Into the Royal back with it, but I can also get it back with the Sproutling. To seem Royal Mage seems like the most underwhelming thing here. So now I can play Diviner, switch power on this. Get in for 4, it's pretty good. Baloth beats. Sentinel's a good rip too, rather. Let's do the Diviner here. And switch it to 4/1. For 4. So we have Squid to trade with Visionary, Stalker to block Royal Mage. Alright, they're ready to Rabid Bite, which is fine. They, like us, only have 1 green mana, too, which is interesting. Can't attack, so sure glad I kept that squid back. Jeez. So, we are missing a land drop here, but it's not important. I think we just go second Diviner, get more evasion, get in with Diviner, and pass. So, we'll take a hit from the Baloth. We can bubble snare it. So we'll take 6. And I think that we just go snare this. And maybe I should have Into the Roiled first. Not that it really matters. I'm just going to bounce that because it kind of just takes their whole turn away. And then actually it's going to potentially give us lethal next turn. I mean, I guess we can't because we don't have the land, so it's not. If I rip a land, it will, but if not, it won't. We also can't kick Sproutling because I only have 1 green mana. Also important to realize. So it looks like they're... Okay. Well, it's going to make things pretty difficult, I would say. But we still have the chance to win here with the Arbor Mage, which we cannot cast currently. So we might have to wait on that, which is fine. I think that means we just go... I wonder if that means... Well, we need the 6th land, so I got to play the Recovery. So that probably means we just go Recovery as a land. The Arbor Mage should be able to win, so really it's... This is this. This unblockable. To put them in close to lethal range. And then Squid. And next turn, the Arbor Mage, assuming they have no disruption for our Arbor Mage, should be able to do it. I mean, another avenue to take is, yeah, if they're tapped out, we just win. Because now we can just double pump Stalker. And we don't even have to show them that we're... That's cool. Stalker for the win. As he is wont to do. So, we got to deal with the Rooster Drakes. The good news is we've got the... we do have the Broken Wings. The copied token enchantment. Yep. That's pretty good. So bring in the Broken Wings. They don't look very beat down, so I don't need Duelist. Evasion is always good. But do I need the Squids? Yeah, Squid is just good to have. I like their Visionaries more, though. But Squid can beat down. Could see maybe cutting the trap. Not that it's bad, it's just this isn't a match where I find it all that relevant. I think we're better off on a Squid beat plan. And actually, I guess Bala Ged Recovery can get back Broken Wings. I doubt that's going to come up, but it's possible. Yeah, good hand. Certainly good enough to keep. If I have to play a Buying Veil to get by a blocker, I think it's probably worth it. Also having Rabid Bite is nice. Alright, found into the Royal. Visionary. I think best use of mana is probably just Diviner here, which I'm okay with. I mean, I can Buying Veil, but best use of mana, I think we just take that trade, even though it's not great. Get the Diviner online. Technically, next turn I could recover the Squid and play it. It doesn't seem great, though. No kicker cards in hand for this sad Sproutling. They had the Verazol, so it's a problem because I can't do anything about it. So we'll get in. And I think we just play sad Sproutling. Alright. So they pretty much got exactly what they wanted again. But I guess we have the Buying Veil, which actually looks kind of good here. Let's see. So they have Into the Royal though, which, yeah, they're just gonna spit out a million Drakes, I think, and hurt us pretty bad here. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. There's just really nothing good we can do here. Could recover a Squid. I don't really see what that does. Could Rabid Bite Verazol. I mean, it prevents him from copying, but I almost feel like I need to... do it to the Flyers to be able to get in. Copying it doesn't give them extra Drakes. It does give them extra bounce. Actually, a land shy of Sentinel. Maybe I should have just played that, I guess. Well, all right. Yeah. Not exactly what I want. Because I think they're probably just going to bounce their own Verazol. Actually makes more sense to do it here. Because if I did it on my Sproutling and they bounce it, then I guess I didn't predict the Soul Shatter on the splash, I guess. So I could have rapidly bitten the Verazol to prevent the kicked... I mean, there's no chance of winning this now, right? I don't think so. I think we're good to call it. Broken Wings doesn't do anything. Well, that actually gives us some sort of fighting chance, doesn't it? Okay. I mean, not really, but maybe. Basically, it really doesn't. Because, like, even if I were to rip a... I only have 7 lands, so even if I, say, rip, like, a Might of Marasa, it's still just not good enough to... I don't know, they're setting us up to do it. But like I said, we don't have the mana. We need 8 to do Arbor Mage plus Might of Marasa for the win, which would be Xaxes. But Maybe if we don't die this turn, it could happen. I mean, they're leaving the possibility that we win here, which is, I guess, that's not even true either, because I need another creature on board in order to even do that. In order to win off Might of Marasa, these two have to get in, so Arbor Mage isn't going to do it. Their deck is also clearly better than ours, so the fact that we even got a game on them is good news. Because I think this is a mirror match that's horrible for us, because they have Roost of Drakes and we don't. So, I guess the good news is we took one game. It's possible to win. They're tapped out. Like, I would love to believe that I could win here, but don't see how that's happening. The funny thing is we needed that to not be a squid, because if it was another creature and we drew, if it was any other creature that could attack, then we could at least draw Might of Marasa and win. Let's see, we take 10, 14. Did not get there. So yeah, we can Arbor Mage. I don't want to show them the Arbor Mage. So they already know about Diviner, we can play that. Arbor Mage just not good enough. The Soul Shatter Splash is kind of blowing my mind. Like, I've never heard of anything like that before. That's very odd. It's not a kicker spell. It's okay removal. Nothing incredible. So I don't really get that. So, go to game 3. Horrific matchup for us. Very, very, very bad matchup for us. What does that tell me? What should I be doing differently to have any sort of chance of winning this? I feel like I have to beat down, which is sad, but there's just no way I can beat Roost of Drakes in the long game. Absolutely no way. So I need to play beat down, and I just don't think we're going to be that efficient at it. All right, I guess that's that. All right, we'll play first. That's a Mull. This one's a keep. And I guess we'll ditch the... Yeah, what do we ditch? I mean, I kind of need this Broken Wings. I don't want to ditch Wizard. I don't want to ditch Verazol. I can't ditch the lands. I need the Squid. Could ditch the Rabid Bite. I guess we're going to ditch the Wizard, though I don't particularly want to. Turn 3 Squid is also much less exciting. So we can Rabid Bite, but we probably just attack, offer the trade, and Windrider Wizard here. And then if they Rooster Drakes, at least we can Broken Wings. If we draw land, we probably go Verazal, getting a 4/4. We got the land, which means we can ditch. Probably the Royal Mage again. I mean, I guess it lets us get... Nah, there's nothing else we can ditch. We could ditch the Squid, but I think we actually just need Squid here in order to basically do anything. So we'll smash. I don't want to trade the Wizard for it, though. Visionary, okay. So we can do into the Royal, but let's do the Verazal for just get a 4/4 here. All right. So, yeah, what do we want to do here? I mean, clearly attack with the Wizard. Maybe just play the Fortification to get a 5th land. I don't really want to into the Royal those things. Could play the Squid, could play the Rabid Bite. None of the options look particularly good here. I think we probably go Squid. And I think we Rabid Bite the Colony. And I'm not going to loot. So I can actually reasonably tempo them here, but only if we were to. I think it's our best shot, actually. I don't love it, to be honest. But we draw 2, I guess. Got a Might of Marasa, I guess that's good. Yeah, I guess we can loot. I think we'll ditch the Bubble Snare, although I can copy it with Verazal. Could be the Royal Mage. I can get Might of Marasa back with the Royal Mage, but... maybe it is Bubble Snare. Huh. Well, didn't hit the land, unfortunately. If it hit the land there, I would have felt a little bit better about this. I guess I can copy Might of... So if they tap out and I can get in with my Windrider Wizard, I think we can actually do this. Because I can copy Might of Marasa with Verazal. So essentially... Oh, but they have this Snarecaster. I see. It's going to let them... It's going to let them block. So... Wonder what that means. Because we only have 6 lands. Best use of mana. Royal Mage getting back probably into the Royal. But I need to get that Snarecaster off the board. Wonder if we just go land. Swing with team. Yeah, I don't love this. I can't lie. Yeah. Wait. This lets me win, doesn't it? I don't know why that... I just assumed they were going to block the... I guess this just was how we were going to do it because they only had 2 blockers. I don't know why it took me that long to figure that out. Wow. Well, we just beat a better deck, and my brain crapped out on me there at the end, so I'm glad that I could figure that easy play out. All right, we'll see you for the next one. All right, it's round 3. We'll play first. Yes, it's a keep. Probably just jamming a Royal Mage. Turn 2. Not the most exciting turn 2 play, but something that can attack or block. I really don't like the idea of a turn 3 Verazal, but I think chances are reasonable that we do it. We'll see. Might be better off waiting. Yeah, kind of am now. I'd rather have the 4/4. I just think a 4/4 is going to look a lot better. I didn't have to play the Sanctuary there either, but I figure we're building towards this Skyclave Sentinel, so it kind of makes sense. Oh, Sproutling's good. Yeah, actually Sproutling's really cool, especially if they trade here. So we'll get our 4/4 down. I can copy Bubble Snare, I guess, off of Verazal if I really, my heart so desires. Their mana looks good. Well, that's cool. Let's, I mean, I guess we can just copy. Problem is it takes some counters off, but it also deals with 2 creatures. I mean, they have to double block Verazal in order to kill it. I almost like that more. Because that seems fine to me. Yeah, that also works really well, because now I just go Sprouting and get it back. 2 3/3s or having my 4/4? Yeah, 2 3/3s seem fine. I mean, we don't get the second kicker effect, but not super important there. 2 bodies on the board is nice. Arbor Mage is something. I think we probably just bash in case they have instant speed stuff. Well, I usually don't get got by Living Tempest, but there you have it. So I can Rabid Bite, which I think we will. And I think we actually just play the Arbor Mage. Like, I can taunt with that too, but let's just get a body on the board. We have the Bubble Snare, we have the Royal Mage to get back Rabid Bite. They got a protect their life total. Deck looks kind of weird. Some wizards. But they're splashing white. I guess that's the weird part. Wizard splash white with a Tempest thrown in there for good measure. Lull Mage's Domination, but we only have 2 cards in graveyard, so that's not that intimidating. We do have Shell Shield in case that comes up. Unfortunately, Lull Mage's Domination is good against... I don't know why they conceded. They weren't quite dead. Maybe they just don't want to show us any more cards. So I can do Shell Shield. It's good protection against... It's okay against Tempest, too. It's not great. You still have to throw a card away, but you don't end up losing a whole creature. We have a lot of 3-power dudes, too, right? Yeah, we've got all these squids, so... Maybe Shell Shield. I guess Chilling Trap does probably a better job for us, though. Well, it doesn't do a better job against... Lull Mage's Domination. That's true. So maybe I can swap those out. Yeah, it's probably okay. Shell Shield doesn't net us a card if we have a wizard, like Chilling Trap does, but Shell Shield protects us from Lull Mage's Domination and is still a combat trick for Living Tempest and all of these dudes. Okay. I guess I talked myself into it. Broken Wing's another option. They have the Living Tempest. That's the only flyer we saw, so guess we'll run it back as is. So, yeah, we can keep this. 2 lands. 3 lands now, so go Bind Veil. We can do Royal Mage into Wizard into hopefully Diviner or something. That was a good draw. We're getting good draws. That's good. I'm trying to hold off on playing Symbiosis so I don't have to pay the 3 life, but that's okay. They're missing their land drop too. Wow, that's good news. And they don't feel like blocking either. So I suppose we play the Master of Winds first because we draw cards and it has more potential damage output for Diviner. Than Diviner, I mean. Like we go Master into Diviner and we get to do cool stuff. Let's smash first here though. Because... yeah. So they can Chilling Trap. I think I'm okay with that. Let's go Master and loot. Rabid Bite's good. Fortification versus Symbiosis. I can play this untapped. What does 5 lands do for me? 5 lands would let me go Diviner plus a Fortification to beat harder. I'm not giving up Verazal and Rabid Bite, so I think it's Fortification versus Symbiosis. And I think it's the Symbiosis. I'm not 100% on that. Here we can ditch something, probably land, just because I'm going to be looting more off Wizard anyway, so... And we have a land in hand if I need to play Vastwood Fortification as a land. I can go Squid Rabid Bite next turn. They have to do something about our flyers. They already played the Kabira Takedown. It makes me a little more confident in playing a Diviner here. Loot. Can get back a Royal Mage with the Sproutling. We're going to play the Fortification as a land. Probably ditch the Squid. Not that it's bad, but they have their Royal Mage to block it. So I might as well do it like this. Mutual Grasp is okay with me. So get in for 2. We're going to play the Fortification as a land to get our 5th land. That lets us play the Sproutling. Or Verazol at this point if we want. Verazol is actually pretty nasty because we have 2 kicker spells, so I could actually kick the Sproutling with Verazol out to get 2 things back. It's pretty nice. But now we probably are just gonna Rabid Bite to keep the beats going, which probably means we go higher damage output with the squid. So why don't we Rabid Bite first? But Arbor Mage lets us loot. Squid's more damage, but we need to make a land drop. Arbor Mage can make them block everything, but it also can flip our Master of Winds. I could do an unkicked Sproutling. I think the best play is Rabid Bite. They get to draw, which is whatever. Don't need to flip that. We will loot off this. Got the land. We can ditch the... Got some choices. We can ditch the squid. I think we do. We get to draw. Did we hit the land anyway? We did. So now we do Verazol. And Verazol as a 4/4 with Arbor Mage to make everything block it. I guess we don't really want to do that, but Sproutling kicked off Verazol is pretty nuts too. We just get back up Royal Mage and a Sentinel. That play sort of makes sense. All right. So best play is just a Windrider Wizard to flip the Master. And I guess we can loot. Bubble Snare's cool. Could ditch the Sproutling. Do we even need the value from it? Probably not. Because if we rip another land, I think we can actually... Yeah, this is fine. This makes the most sense. So next turn we can kick the Bubble Snare, so they have to have multi-flying blockers in order to not die here. I mean, granted, we have to connect with 2 of our flyers, but at the same time, Arbor Mage flips our Master of Winds. So if we rip a land, I guess it doesn't really matter. So we ended up going 3-0 with this deck, which is cool. Very cool. Didn't feel like a super powerful deck, but it's probably why I haven't been super successful in this format. I'm not really driven to play cards like the Squid, the Skyclave Squid. It's just it seems like it's an essential card in this format. One of the ones that's just super important as an early blocker or an early beater. And it's not like an intriguing card to play with in this format whatsoever. It doesn't fit into a tribe. It's not very interesting, but it's one of those cards where you just probably play as many as you can possibly get because they're so important. So maybe that's, like I said, why I haven't been super successful in this format. I'm just not interested in cards that bring success. Solely because they're just not that fun, like the Squid. And there's probably a couple other examples I'm missing. But all right, hope you enjoyed it, folks. We'll see you for the next one.